Yo, what's good? This is Chef David Olson with Live Fire Republic. We're here just outside of Denver, Colorado with my very good buddy Jason from Overland Eats.
What's up? What's up?
Jason, this is home for you, man. This is incredible. Look at that view, huh?
Yeah, we got a great little camp spot here. We were doing a little wheeling earlier today in one of the trucks.
Dude, this is so rad. This truck is insane right now, right? So we're going, like, I would never drive my vehicle, my SUV in this. This is nuts.
Yeah, it's a good time. You know, the Overland Eats thing really kind of happened by accident. I love cooking and I love camping out in the outdoors, and you know, a lot of trails like this one in Colorado, you really need a you know, four-wheel drive, you know, kind of a capable vehicle to do it. So it makes for a good time.
Dude, a four-wheel drive wouldn't handle this. Like, you have this independent suspension in here that actually allows you to get through what looks to me like the width of like a bank lane, but you have these massive boulders we're going over. This is nuts. This is insane.
Yeah, 37-inch tires, Icon suspension, the whole, you know, a lot of this truck is sponsored. We take it to truck shows and fun stuff like that. But you know, one of my favorite things is just being able to go and like cook some massive tomahawk, or you know, like that roast that we're gonna do later tonight, and like guarantee you, this spot that we're headed to, we're gonna be the first people ever to cook a big pot roast there. Now we got some friends coming over later tonight to eat. So what do you got going here?
It's time to feast, man. So we're gonna do a certified Piedmontese chuck roast. We're gonna get it inside the Dutch cast iron. We're gonna cook it down with some beer and some stock and some roasted bone marrow. It's gonna be nuts, and we're gonna pair it up with acorn squash, man.
That sounds amazing. Hey, let's get going. We got a lot of cooking to do, and not too much time before the sun gets down.
I know, and the party's on the way, so I know your buddies are coming in. Everyone's gonna get fed tonight, so let's jump in, dude.
Let's do it.
Now, the first thing that we're gonna do with this beef is we're gonna brush it down and baste it in a little bit of olive oil. We're gonna hit it hard with the SPG, and then we're gonna sear it off directly in the cast iron with both olive oil.
That's gonna be so good.
And butter. So we're using the olive oil for its richness, and then butter because it's butter.
I like it, man, I like it. And that's a thick cut of meat too.
So what I'm gonna do with this beef is I'm just gonna go on an angle, and scoring the beef here is gonna allow this to cook a bit faster. It's gonna increase the surface for the caramelization. We get that Maillard reaction that's moving. And look how nice and easy this moves through. Now I'm gonna come through the other side, same exact thing, just taking the knife, nice and gentle, zero pressure. You come right across the top. Oh my God, I'm just kidding. Come right across the top.
That thing looks good already.
And we're just gonna do this on both sides. And this is gonna work really nicely, and we're gonna be able to get some of that butter, that olive oil, the SPG down all into that surface. And check this out. I'm gonna lift this up here real quick. Look what happens now to the surface that we're cooking with.
Oh yeah, you get a lot more area, yeah.
Tons more, right? And what we want is we want that crust around the exterior of that beef. And this now more than triples and quadruples the amount of surface that's gonna get that caramelization. Super cool, right?
Very cool.
All right, Jason, SPG down.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
It's like Salt Bay Extreme Outdoor Edition.
I know. Salt Bay over.
And you go really heavy on this too, huh?
Yeah, so I go heavy for two reasons. One, because I can't get enough of choking on garlic powder as the wind's blowing in my face. But number two, we talk about this pretty often, is we go about 30 to 40% more than most folks are comfortable seasoning, because you're losing the majority of that to the grate and to the fire, right?
Right, on that sear especially to begin with.
Correct, yeah. Correct. So we're gonna hit it super hard with the salt, the pepper, and we have roasted granulated garlic is actually what we're using. We're gonna flip it over, do the same sides. And then we have this board seasoning that's kind of left, and that's what we're gonna roll the edges of the steak in.
Awesome, okay. Awesome.
All right, Jason, so we have a really nice tack that's developed over the exterior here of our steak with that SPG, and it's important to get that tack before it goes into the pan. We wanna keep as much of that seasoning in here as possible. Okay?
Yeah, and that'll give you a really nice crust too.
That's exactly what we're looking for. So the steak is actually going down into the skillet, then butter into the pan, right? So we're gonna develop some of that really, really nice richness around there, okay? So we're about 6 minutes aside. Let's get it in.
Let's do it. All right, so what do you have here?
Okay, so this is bone marrow. It's cut into medallions. And while our chuck roast is just finishing that caramelization on that second side, these are going directly into the Dutch oven. It's gonna serve as the base for our stew.
All right, so what do you think? We got to chop up some veggies now?
I think we do, man, but Colorado beer waits for no one, you know what I'm saying?
I tell you what, you dig into that, I'll stay classy with my little White Claw, watermelon White Claw here.
God, dude, I tell everyone like the world went to hell in a handbasket. Like just as soon as White Claw came, but you make it look good. You make White Claw look good.
I'm gonna have to blur out the logo there. Look, let's go chop these vegetables and drink these drinks.
Let's go. So we have red onion, we have some heirloom carrot, and then we have parsnips that are gonna take the place of potatoes. So typically when you have a stew, right, you're doing like potato, carrot, onion. We're doing parsnips today. I think it's gonna add some really nice sweetness to the dish. The onion is gonna really cut through, and I like how the carrot's gonna just add some bite into this. So we've rinsed off the carrots, rinsed off the parsnips. We're not going to peel them, right? But we're just gonna get in and chop them up.
No, the White Claw!
Blooper! White Claw down! White Claw down! Chuck roast is seared into the pan. Right atop the bone marrow. I love that play. Now, what we can't forget about is all of this ridiculous goodness.
Oh, give me that.
Let's go. Get in.
That smells amazing already.
There we go. Now, we have those pan drippings that are inside along with that rendered bone marrow fat. It's now time to get in our IPAs and beef stock. Around to the sides, filling it up. And we only go with about a little more than a half because the rest of this, my friend,
is for drinking.
While you wait, you hydrate.
There you go.
Okay, Jason, our secret ingredient today is mushrooms. These are locally harvested and hand-picked from the grocery store.
Love it. Love it.
Absolutely. What's gonna happen in this process is it cooks down, it's really gonna intensify in its flavors like we just talked about. I wanna make sure that we're not over seasoning, but we're gonna season as appropriate when it comes off the fire.
I'd be willing to bet this is gonna taste pretty good already without anything else.
It's gonna be ridiculous, man. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna get the lid right on, and then we're gonna grab some coals from the bottom and set them directly over the top of our Dutch oven. This is just gonna help create this inferno effect all across this pot. Just a couple of them, not too many. About 3 to 4 nice chunks of lump charcoal. Okay, 3 to 4.
There you go.
Dutch oven's been moving for about an hour and the braise is starting to work. That being said, we have about 2.5 hours left. Squash into the fire. Now the squash are gonna sit here just alongside the fire to begin to slowly warm. We're gonna rotate them intermittently. To finish, we're gonna chop them into beautiful slices. We're gonna set them back into the cast iron skillet with rendered chorizo fat. All right, we're about halfway through the cook. It's time to add the brown sugar. Now the reason that we wait is I don't want it to burn, and I also really like the way that sweetness finishes off. Check that out.
Oh my gosh.
Look at that.
Get that in my belly right now.
Dude, we have a little bit of that boil to simmer. We're getting about a tablespoon and a half here, and that's it. Then I'm gonna grab onto my trusty tongs, just get that all in, mix it around, make sure those vegetables are well covered. It's gonna add a really nice bit of sweetness to the bitterness that we actually had inside of that beer. All right, we've had quite a bit of time pass, sun setting, temperatures are starting to drop, but the acorn squash is just about finished along with our stew. So check this out. We have this really cool char that's taking place across the squash. It's just about tender. We're gonna carve this up into slices. We're gonna saute it in rendered chorizo fat with a bit of roasted garlic and brown sugar. It's gonna be nuts. Now, before the acorn squash goes into the saute pan, it's time to get our chorizo down. It's time to get our chorizo down. Take two. Hey, that's not bad, right? So here's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna move this quickly around the pan. Whether it's uncased sausage, this is a beef chorizo, just gonna be working the tip of this wooden spatula right down into the cast iron. Get it real broken apart. When we do this, we're gonna be able to render out more quickly the fats from that chorizo. Chorizo fat's been rendered, saute pan is perfect, super hot. It's now time to take the roasted acorn squash and get it in. Let's build a bit of color and have some fun. What we're doing is we're just going in, working in a clockwise fashion, pressing down into the pan. We get these really cool, spicy flavors that are gonna come out of this. Just like so. There we go. A little extra salt never hurt anyone, said my doctor. And neither did a bit of sugar. Here we go, in. Now we have this combination, these beautiful southwestern spices and that beef chorizo fat. And by the way, if anyone's taking note, this is the same exact pan that we used to caramelize up and render down the fat from our Piedmontese chuck roast. So we have all of those flavors from the entirety of the cook in the pan. You guys, we've had such a ridiculous cook up here in Colorado, like overlooking this incredible landscape. It's so amazing, and this has been so much fun.
Hungry, hungry, hungry.
And it's gonna be amazing. But listen, if you guys love this recipe, would love this episode, make sure to smash that subscribe down below. Hit the bell so you don't miss a single one. Comment, let us know what you think. Have you ever done a cook like this before? I wanna hear about it, and you better let me know exactly where. You can find this recipe and more at livefirerepublic.com. Until then, it's time to eat. Let's do it. Get it all out of that bone marrow bone. It's so good. All right. We ready to get in? Or are we already rolling? We're rolling. I'm talking about how good it is, and it's already. Here we go. All right. I guess it's time to taste, right? That's stupid. We get like the sweetness of that brown sugar. And the beer though, the beer has some really nice sweetness to it, but it's so hearty from that beef. That's stupid. Stay hungry.